Good evening and welcome. It is Wednesday night. We are up, down, around the block for a special, several special editions of the Coaches Show right now. We've got swimming. Welcome, swimmers. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. 4 teams, 2 schools, 1 team or 1 family. And then we've got Ed here. And I even made, like, those watching on the live stream, it's got half of your name is in the green and gold, half is in the blue and white. And yeah, you've got your special graphic.
Someone will still get mad.
Someone will still get mad because only Ed is in green and gold, right?
Yeah, that's or vice versa, one of the two.
Well, a quick recap of last week in sports. We had a little bit extra. Friday, I went to Missoula for the Golden Goat, something I would very much like to bring to Great Falls as far as a rivalry atmosphere. I don't know if you've been to
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've heard the Golden Goat.
So the outcome of the basketball games has nothing to do with who wins Gertie the Goat. There's judges, and basically it's like Spirit Week on crack. So they do T-shirts. They get judged on sportsmanship, participation, their halftime show, like everything. And it's from my high school because that's where the person came from that started it here. So that was kind of weird to find out. But yeah, it's a great thing. I'd love to see it here in Great Falls. But Hellgate beat the boys of Big Sky 49-48. That was an awesome game. The girls 43-40. Big Sky wins that. Big Sky gets the Golden Goat by 3 points on the judges' scorecard, however that works. CMR boys beat Bozeman to give them their first in-conference loss. And then we had CMR and Great Falls High over Helena High and Capital in wrestling. Titan Hickman and Tegan Dixon were the wrestlers of the meet. St. Patrick's Academy over Hart Butte, both boys and girls. Caleb Deacons and Lucy Donnelly were the players of the game. And then we had crosstown swimming, swimmers of the meet, Taylor Hain and Seth freaking Royer. So much swimming to talk about. Yeah. Let's talk about baseball.
Sure. I'm
kidding. The following interview will be severely fact-checked because this guy, like so many people are coming up to me in the fall being like, hey, baseball, it's coming around. You excited? I'm like, I haven't heard anything about baseball. And so sure enough, there's a game at Memorial, and who's in the crowd or down on the track? This guy was like, he'll know. If anybody knows, it'll be Mac. And so I go up and I start talking to him. He's like, I don't know anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Come to find out, that was not factually true. He knew a lot.
I knew everything.
He knew everything.
I knew everything. So, yeah, that was a bold-faced lie.
Wow.
Without even I was sworn to secrecy.
Sworn to secrecy. So basically, we're going to stick to swimming, so I don't have to worry about fact-checking any baseball stuff. But you, you coach so much because now you're going to be baseball, but you were the pitcher's coach for the Chargers, still are. And then you oversee 4 teams of 2 schools. I mean, do you have any free time other than what I'm using up of yours right now?
Every once in a while. It's probably, it's the big thing. It's probably why I've been married for as long as I have, is because I'm never home. The key to success in a happy marriage is not be home. But no, Miss Erica has always been supportive of this. So are my kids. Even so, my son lives in Boston, and my youngest daughter. Actually, all my kids called me yesterday because they knew it was crosstown, and it was one of those things. And they were more interested in the state roster and how we looked and what kind of races we had. So it's. They know what I do because they've grown up with it too. So they know that January is not usually in the best mood sometimes when I get home. But no, they do a great thing, and they kind of detach me from it when I do get home and stuff. I've got some nights though. The only person that wants to talk to me is the bulldog. That's the only person that really wants to be around me that time. And then once the treats are gone, then she doesn't want anything to do with me then. So that's how that works.
Yep. I get home and the only people that want to talk to me are our cats. And once I'm done petting them or they've had their fill, they take off. They don't care about my night anymore. They're like, I don't care who won. I don't care who the player of the game was. It's like, all right. Well,
yeah,
we're moving
pretty
on.
Much what we have too in our house. So. No, it's been good. That's the thing. So this is a pretty I started the swim coaching as the head coach in 2002. 2002, I think. It's been a long time.
Has it always been just one coach?
It has been. That goes back to the times that when I'm a product of the program back in a long time ago. We'll just leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan was president.
Wow.
But so then that was the product of it. So we always had this, and it's kind of one of those things. It's just because a lot of it's just based on facility, that we have the one facility.
Well, yeah.
So it works. And it's just something that, we kind of built on. Mike Henneberg was one of the first assistant coaches I had. And he was in my ear about a lot of things. Dale Poley, Jack Johnson with football back in the day. Those guys would always be available to help that. And then pretty honored to be because we were introduced to the coaches, Montana Coach Association Hall of Fame together with Steve Comack, because we both started as head coaches the same year. So we did a lot of stuff, just bouncing things off one another till we found a fit to what we do here. So that is, and it's one of those things that every year it kind of manifests itself. And usually what happens is I read a book or something over the summer and pick up some coaching ideas, and then that becomes kind of our mantra, our theme on what we want to do that year. And so that is, but it's always based on the concept of 4 teams, 1 family. It's because it's like you said, you do start to spend a lot of time there. And so the relationships that are formed, it does feel like family. And the other thing too is because I have to put myself in a position where I will be open about, they have to trust me, and I have to trust them. So they also have to know that I'm going to tell them how to beat the person next to them. and we do it in a way that is, again, they trust me, and I'll be like, hey, and they can stand right next to each other, and I'll tell them that. And because they know that at the end of the day is that they're cared for, they're valued for what they do and who they are. And so it's been a really, really great thing to be a part of, because we do have, because it's a no-cut sport, we do have the facility. We are able to practice. We're able to carry as many kids as we want. So we give kids an opportunity to participate, to have a good experience. And then we're fortunate enough to have some really top-end talent where we can chase state championships every year too. So it's been exciting.
So do you have a limit on coaching, like where you'll say, okay, that's enough? Because like I said, you've added now baseball. I don't know if you are aware of what's going to consume more of your time, swimming or baseball.
Swimming will, by far. Swimming always will. Because
swimming always does.
There's so many variables that go into to baseball that you get to things that aren't controllable. And Deuce Nichols is here. He's a swimmer and a baseball player. I've been his pitching coach been lucky to be his pitching coach for a long time. But there's so many variables that eventually you have to take off, and they have to do that. They have to win or lose on their own. And with swimming, it is so much goes into just the everyday preparations. And we do it in a way because the theme that we have for the coaches all the time is like, we need to work as hard or harder outside of the pool as they do in. So that means making sure the workouts are thought over, done again and again, and then executing that. So all they have to worry about is showing up and working hard. And then so that's where the trust factor comes in. And that adds a lot of stress sometimes.
I can imagine so.
It's a lot of stress, but it's a good stress. And it's something that I don't know. It's been my entire adult life that it's been like that, where it's just like, where it comes down to, there's stuff like 2021, the Great Falls High guys they finished second to Helena Capital by 8 points. And it was a grand total of 1.76 seconds in 3 races. So, I mean, that's just it, is the margin of error is so narrow.
Yeah.
And if you remember last year, the Great Falls High girls with the disqualification came back and won the state championship at that. I mean, you live for those moments, but at the same time we had some things last night that happened too. The first time a kid gets under 30 seconds. You have to really enunciate when you say it, but we always talk about you want to have how, when you touch the pads and you look up and that you see a 9, and it's 59-29, and how sexy that 9 really is. It's a really good 9. It's our favorite number. Is you want to see that 9, because that's a big hurdle to get over. So it's really fun to watch them do that.
Well, anybody watching on the live stream that has questions for anybody up here, drop them in the comments if you want. But my questions are, more simple, more basic, because the baseball makes sense. You had a son who went to Caltech to play baseball. I remember talking with him.
Yeah.
But swimming, so you're a product of the program. But how did you fall into being responsible for 4 teams?
It's a funny story. So I got into teaching and stuff because I was fortunate enough I started coaching football. That was the first thing I did, is coach football for a couple of years. And and Dale Poley had set me up to do some things at UM Western and stuff. So I was really lucky to kind of have some connections. So honest to goodness, Gary DeGoyer was the athletic director, and we were in the PE office down in the pool, and he just simply looked over and he said, "I'm tired of this other guy. You're the head coach next year." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Are you ready?" And I said, "No." Not ready.
No, I'm not ready.
He's like, "Well, you got about 9 months to get ready." And I said, "Well, I guess I'll take the job." And he said, "You're damn right you will, because otherwise you won't coach anything." I said,
Wow.
"Okay." So that was kind of by default, and it was just, I mean,
quite the ultimatum.
Out of the frying pan into the fire. I mean, I was just like, and so that kind of started us on that road, though, is just like wanted to make sure that when they were done swimming with the thing, they didn't go through, not that I had a bad experience, but I didn't want them to hate swimming when they were done, because it's really easy to do. You can ask them. It's really easy to hate swimming sometimes. So I didn't want them to hate the sport. I wanted them to be like, hey, if they're sitting at home when they're older and they turn on the TV, that they stop and like, oh, I remember doing that stuff. And so it's all the traditions and things that we've done have really manifested themselves just simply because of a moment or something that just happened, and it just kind of continues. Whether it's, I mean, I can point to the Journey song at the end. That was 2012, I think, or 9. I was getting set to deploy, actually, so I had to leave halfway through the season, and I was addressing the team, and that was on in the background, and they just kept singing over me. I couldn't talk. They just kept singing louder and louder and louder, and I couldn't talk. So I was just like, just let it go. And from then on, it was things like that. They do the thing on the day before Crosstown on that Monday or that Tuesday, that day of Crosstown, is they switch shirts. That was my daughter. She was a swimmer in 2016. She's the one who started that. I didn't start it. That wasn't me. The stuff we do beforehand for warm-ups and stuff, I am responsible for AC/DC Hell's Bells.
There we go.
That tune is, but then that was done. Basically, why we did that is because there's a rule about how you have to be feet first to go into the water, you get disqualified for warm up. So I wanted to make sure that everybody was going feet first in the water. First, so we took a drill that we had done and then just put it into that to where and again, it just manifests itself to where it just becomes something that it's bigger than me. It takes over and they take over, and it's something that they take very serious, and because it kind of unites them to do that. It's really fun to watch.
So what's something about swimming that they don't tell you? Like, obviously we get excited about it every 4 years in the Olympics, and Michael Phelps, who helped popularize it, but what's, other than being in the lanes, beating the person next to you, what's the thing about swimming that most people don't realize?
It is incredibly boring if you let it. No, I think the big thing that is just like, I think a lot of times what happens is these guys don't understand how much coordination it takes. So the kinetic chain, I'm not going to get too, I don't know why it makes sense to me, but the idea of how much they have to do based on feel, and how much you have to do by verbally talking to them about what they feel and how they feel it, and where, because there's so much stuff that is done where they're not seeing their hands. I mean, they get a tiny little thing in the front part of their hand that they get to see. Otherwise, it's all based on they have to know where that's at and feel it. So I think that's one of the things that gets overlooked is it's a different type of coordination, but it takes a heck of a lot of coordination and understand that. And so the idea that they get, I mean, I don't want to roll a soccer ball out right now or anything like that, because we'll twist an ankle or something like that this close to state. We're not going to go upstairs and play pickup basketball because we'll get a broken nose or something. So we're not going to do stuff like that. But the idea of how coordinated they are and how they can pick up instructions and stuff, and that's probably the thing I wish people understood more, is that it does take a lot of coordination to do that.
So we have a question that came in, and this I'll tie into one of my questions that I had for you. So the question is, how do you reload each year to be so good?
Is it? He's sitting over there.
But on that, I want to know is, with you, what's the trick that you've learned? Because clearly, not only do you reload to be good every year, but you've learned how to do that, like how to produce great swimmers year in and year out.
Value.
Really?
Yeah. And I tell them all the time, like, if you talk about culture, it means you don't have one. It's kind of like when Bobby Bowden said, y'all have two quarterbacks means you don't have one. So we talk about the idea of making sure that they feel valued, that regardless, that everyone's treated the same, that if you're not living up to our standards, then it doesn't matter if you're like Eli, who's there, who's one of the top guys. You're not gonna compete that weekend if you're not doing, and that kind of. And once people and kids see that and understand that, one, it's consistent. That's the big thing, is consistency every day when you show up. Try to leave everything behind and go in there and work. And it's a lot of fun. I love practice. Like, whether it's baseball, swimming, whatever. I love practice. It's my favorite time.
Yeah, you told me a couple of years ago, one of the tricks was you have to get over being embarrassed real quick.
Yeah, you can't be that and not being, as I've gotten more mature with it, not older, but
I was gonna say more
just
mature.
Like being able to shift things on the fly, and just to be like, I think this works, and we'll talk about things, and I'll be like, I don't know why it works, it just does. And so that kind of gets me, I think that's probably the thing, is to watch, because in practice you really get to get in there and work, and that's where the relationships are formed. But making sure that they understand that they're valued too as a person. And then once they have that, and I know that's, you can go to John Wooden and those type of guys, and I'm certainly not comparing myself to them, but if you go back to the core things and really kind of put together what those guys talk about is, if an athlete understands that they're valued for who they are, then you can work on what you need. And so once that happens, then it kind of perpetuates itself, and a lot of things get handed down for these guys that they do. The seniors, we've had great groups of seniors, so I think it's a lot of them. Like, that's just what the standards are, what we value, and things like that is really important to them.
Beautifully put. Well, another question before we get to my favorite segment of the show.
It's my dad.
No, we got this one here, which I was curious about. I didn't want to save all of it for baseball season, but you coach great swimming teams. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But now you're going to take on the task of being a head coach for a baseball team. But this is different. Like, in a school that has history that goes back to the early 1900s, in 2026, your name will go in as the first head coach for the Bison baseball team. Oh. Like, what is that like to you?
You know what? And it's weird because Cam. And so Cam was home for Christmas from Boston, and he's like, and Dave Pollinchek's another guy. He does our sales for us and stuff. But they're people have to kind of tap me on the shoulder every once in a while, because you get in the weeds and you're just working day to day. And it's like, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
It's just how we do things. And so it was one of those things that, because in 2022, I was, because I had done so much work with swimming with MHSA, that Mark Beckman, the director of MHSA at that time, called me down, and I'd always bugged him about, like, hey, when are we going to get high school? I'd see him all the time. And I'd be like, hey, Bex, when are we going to get high school baseball? When are we going to get high school baseball? And finally, one day, he just called me out of the blue, and he said, Mac, I need you down here on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Didn't figure out why. And I said, all right. So we met down there, and this committee, I didn't know it was a committee. And he said, okay, we're going to vote for it. So I said, okay. So yes. And then he looks over at me, he goes, okay, Mac, I need you down here in January to present this to the MHSA executive board. Because I can't do it, because I'm running it, and he can't do it, and Michelotti can't do it, and he can't do it. So you're the guy.
You're the guy.
So he said, you come up with the presentation and stuff. So I showed up in that January, and I had like a little PowerPoint and stuff, and just they fired questions at me. It was like a Senate type hearing. I mean, it was like there's a big huge round table, and there's 12 people there, and they are just, what about this? What about this? And so I just answered questions honestly. And I said, okay. And then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we're going to have it in the spring of 20. I was like, whoa. I did not think it was going to happen that fast, because it was like, just like you said, it was the birth of things. So I've been on the ground level of this thing. And so kind of, when they did do it and they announced it, that they were going to have it, my name was attached to it. So I was persona non grata for a little bit around Legion baseball a couple summers, because it was like, because there's people that, I think each community is going to be different with it. I think Great Falls, with the way we do things, I think with Tone at CMR, with me at Great Falls High, I think the experience that I'm bringing in from swimming, of being able to unite people and unite teams, will be, I think it will work better here than it will in other communities.
Yeah, I think so.
It will.
I'm very excited for it. I love when I get to go see the Chargers, which is still happening. The season will just be condensed.
Yeah, we'll
later.
move to June to start that, so it'll be there.
Well, that brings us to my favorite segment of the program. For those of you that don't know, we end every coach's portion with our segment called Fishing for Compliments with Coach, because coaches are notorious for not just giving out compliments. You kind of have to fish for them. So we have my fish bowl here.
Oh, I got some good ones.
Which started out with 6 fish. We're missing some. There's 3 in there now.
I don't know.
But here's your poll.
I got to make sure I'm appropriate.
All right. So we've got number 3. So number 3 on my key here is for Avery Rains and Eli Christ. Tell me something nice about their personalities. I'm already hearing the scattered laughter. I love it. I love it.
Rains drives me crazy.
Compliments, Coach.
Ava's compliment about their personality.
Yeah.
Ava has this group of girls that she's kind of like culted up on us, and they're all this breaststroke group that she's in there, and she's kind of the ringleader of all of them. So she's kind of got these girls, and it's really, it can bug the heck out of me, but they're a lot of fun. Abe's always there on time. Not that that's the compliment like she should be, but she's multifaceted athlete. I think that's one thing too. But her personality is just someone that she's very very, very sweet. She's very sweet. She's very kind. Eli is a liar. He is.
This might be the best fishing for compliments segment ever.
He is a manipulator. He just blatantly. You mean, I don't know if you heard the stuff at senior night, and he's just this stuff. He's saying, "Oh, Coach Mac's the best human." I'm like, you are a liar. Okay. I would say that Eli's best part of his personality. He's a uniter. There's some things he's done this season, and so I can embarrass both of them because we have a thing called senior teams that both of these two have really had their senior teams, and we had kind of a tough case this year. We had a kid that came out. Kind of had a real tough background, and everything he said, last night was senior night. He's like, I'm really going to miss Eli because he's really cared about me. And I think that's the other thing too, is they're both very genuine. That's what you see is what you get. That's who they are. Cause I've known Eli and I've known both of them for 4 years. Eli in a couple different capacities, watching him play tennis, state championship tennis player. Abe's a softball player. She'll be going to Province to play. Had her in class, fortunately, and stuff. And what you see here is that's their true person. So yeah, there's a lot to be proud of there for them.
All right. Excellent. Well, who's up first between the two of them?
Rains.
All right. Well, we have Avery Rains and
who wants to go first? You want to go first?
Oh, they say that each other wants to go first. Yeah. It's just not who goes first.
The liar's coming first.
Oh, Eli. Okay. So one more time for Coach Mac. Thank you so much.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
All right. We'll be back after this commercial break.
The Block Coaches Show is made possible by our proud sponsors. The Burger Bunker, located at 24 5th Street South here in Great Falls and open Monday through Saturday. It's my personal favorite burger in town. I get the Island Burger. Stop in and tell them the F.A.N Show sent you. Burger Bunker. No frills, just deliciousness for your inner burger lover. Mars of Great Falls. Your one-stop shop for a variety of automobile restoration services. Call today at 406-315-2142 or stop in and see Archie yourself at 1224 19th Avenue South. Schulte's 38th Street Store and Coffee House. Family owned and the best chicken in town if you ask me. But don't take my word for it. Stop in and see for yourself at 3800 3rd Avenue South. A cutting crew and nails too. Located at 315 17th Avenue Northeast, walk-ins are welcome or call and book an appointment today at 406-771-4900. Russell Country Federal Credit Union, where they believe in helping you and your children achieve financial success and building a better community. They want to be your financial home, so stop in their Great Falls or Fairfield office and get started on your new account today. Mountain West Farm Bureau Insurance, the Eric Dirk Agency, protecting what matters most, local service you can trust, and specializing in home, auto, life, and farm ranch products. And finally, C.M. Russell Hall of Famer Linda Morin, Rustler Pride.
That's right. We are back. It is a special Wednesday edition of the Block Coaches Show per the request of Ed Mack. I asked him for information. He doesn't give me any. And then he's like, hey, can we do a Wednesday Coaches Show? Sure, Mac, anything for you. So that's the one-way relationship that we have. But hey, Eli Christ, welcome. Good to have you. Yeah. So we are going to talk swimming, obviously. But last night was Crosstown, sort of the finale for you guys. But it's always a different feeling at that Crosstown. Like, sum it up for me as a senior who that was the last one for you.
It's been crazy. I've done this for 4 years, and I've loved every single second of it. But when we get there for warm-ups and Max says, seniors, I'm going to say this multiple times tonight, but this one's for you guys. And it just kind of hit me different because you're getting there and you've been with these people for 2-3 years, maybe 4 for some of them. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, this is the last year for swimming. And we really are one big family. So it hit really hard last night.
Coach mentioned it earlier. You're a great tennis player. I know this because I've seen you out there on the court. It feels like it doesn't require that much cardio on the tennis court. So of all the things you could do to stay in shape in the wintertime, why on earth did you pick swimming?
Well, okay. What are my other options? Wrestling or basketball? I'm not good at either of them. Swimming gets you completely in great shape. And it feels really good when you get onto a tennis court and you can just outplay a guy for 3 to 4 hours
like,
and see them
on?
die. Exactly. And I can smile and be like, yeah, it's because the winter I worked my butt off. So just kind of give it credit to that.
So how much does Mac expect out of you in the wintertime, even though your forte is obviously tennis?
Well, like you said, we have high expectations. Our standards are set at a level so that when we get to where the moment really needs them, we can just take it and we're used to it. So as long as those standards are set high, everything else seems pretty dang easy.
Wow. So how was your performance at Crosstown last night? You feel good? You ready
I
for
loved
state?
it. It was such a good race. I had multiple good individual events. I love every single one of my relays. The team we have this year is amazing. Couldn't wish for a better group. But yeah, times have been great, and I'm so ready for the state meet. So
yeah, Seth Royer and Taylor Hannigan were the swimmers of the meet last night. Taylor swam with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
They combined that event. What's it like watching, sort of the crossover of competitors like that?
I've been in the exact same position actually for the 200 IM. Not a very popular race, as is the 500. So the fact that you got to go in and you're like, hey, I'm pretty much swimming this by myself. It's just a completely different mindset that you have to put yourself in. But I mean, you're swimming against yourself in there, so might as well just keep it that way,
What's the better feeling, winning the race or qualifying for state?
Oh, that's a really hard one. At times, it really is winning that race because you'll have a teammate next to you or some sort of rival from another city where you're like, my goal is to beat them. But the moment you get that state qualifying time, you just know, I just did that. And I'm going to be able to keep the season going for another 2 weeks. And that feels incredible. So it's really hard to be able to tell the difference between those two feelings.
Yeah, you guys are great swimmers, both schools. And so it's so unique, though, swimming in Great Falls, just because, you guys all share the same pool,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's 4 teams, 1 family, all of that. And in the way that you guys compete, it's not really against anybody but yourself. What other quirky things are there about the swimming team that you can tell me?
Quirky things about the swimming team. I mean, this list could go on, but you said things that I can tell you. So we're going to have to dig for a couple interesting
That
ones.
list went from 20 things to 3 real fast.
Coach has mentioned a lot of the ones that we really love people to see. Obviously, the one is singing that Journey song at the end. That has been one of my favorite memories over all 4 years of swimming. The one thing that I can tell you this, I can't listen to that song any other time of the year, though. It does something to your body. Same thing with Hell's Bells and AC/DC. You just get this huge adrenaline rush. So those quirky things, you're just like, what is going on? But I actually, my favorite is the team meetings that we have right before each meet. We have a very strict schedule, and he sends it out via whatever school app, and we follow that. And when we get into that team meeting, that room, Mac walks in, everybody gets silent. Everybody's holding their breath, and then all of a sudden he just starts speaking. And that, maybe 10, 15-minute meeting feels like forever. And you're just on the edge of your seat, ready for every single word that he's given you, because you know that you're going to be able to go out to that race and absolutely kill it. That is probably one of my favorite things about Coach Mack, is the fact that he's been able to form these words and just take us all together, though we're just a bunch of different kids, and make us feel like one team who we're going to go take that race by the throat and just kill it.
You guys get so intense sometimes, and I love witnessing it. One of my favorite moments ever from any swimming event, I think it was state. Julia Tenaple was a senior. She was swimming, and I think it was one of her individual events. And she popped up, looked up, and was just like, yeah, like, let's go. And I was like, who is that person in the pool right now? But she, like, you guys just get that fired up. And
that feeling is so unique. You just really get it. After that race, you can't keep that inside of you.
Well, because in track, you see yourself cross a finish line. You know if you lost or won, or if it's going to come down to that photo finish. But in swimming, you guys don't know until you look up and read a number.
Half the time you got water in your goggles. So you're like, I can't even see the clock. Give me a second. You look over, everybody's cheering. Like, what's him cheering for? Oh my gosh, look at that time.
Wow.
It's a great feeling.
So have you pretty much gotten used to like what numbers you're looking for when you look up?
Yeah, you try. You're always looking for that 9, whatever seed time you're getting, whatever that goal time Max tells you, and it's like, this is what you need to focus on. You're looking for that number, but there's been other times, especially once we get towards the end of the season, or even during the beginning of the season, where you won't expect the number when you come back out. You're like, I just put in this huge work week. We'll see what happens, and then you are shocked by what comes out after that race.
Well, you got 4 teams to choose from, so I'll ask you right now, who's the last person you would ever want to be stranded on a desert island with?
4 teams is in boys, girls, Grateful Size CMR? Or?
Yeah, you can pick from any of them.
Oh, gosh.
I started this question in the fall with who would you want to be? But no, we're going to go, who's the least likely person that you'd want to see yourself? Because that movie came out, Send Help, and that's beautiful. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm so intrigued by it because those are the last people that they'd ever want to be stranded on an island with. So I got to ask you, who's the person? Nope. Like,
oh gosh, my sister's on the swim team. I love her so much, but if I was stuck on an island with her, I don't know what would happen. I got to be so for real with you. Like,
I'd rather talk to the volleyball. Go away.
It's a good thing I swim. Maybe I could swim to another island or something.
Wow.
I love her. No, she's
That's one of the best answers. Pre-swim ritual. What's that look like for you?
Oh gosh. Music. I love my music.
Okay.
It just helps me focus for some reason. I get a little antsy if it's too quiet.
Yeah.
Go talk to coach. I do a lot of jumping for some random reason. Don't know why. And then one thing that I love, this is for the relays, because when you're an individual event, you normally have somebody else to do it, but we give slaps is what the CMR boys call it.
Slaps?
We will get the strangest looks from people like, oh my gosh, does that hurt? But it's a great adrenaline rush. You just go up and you give 1, 2, and then you punch them in the back and they are ready for their race. And that's probably the weirdest pre-race ritual that we do, but I love it. It gets me going.
If it works, it's not weird. That's my
broke,
thing.
don't fix it.
It's not broke, don't fix it. And also, every coach's show, I bring copies of the poster that you see behind us, and apparently the whole swim, like everybody that's here for swimming signed it. I think Coach needs to sign it too, but we'll be giving those away afterwards, so stick around. You guys can take home a piece of the coach's show with you, and you sign them, and you've been working on your signature. There's some, I'm very surprised how good their signature looks on there. Every show. I try.
Some kids get them down. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Okay. So we are coming up on Valentine's Day, and I did have some good Valentine's Day questions that I've been featuring here on the Coaches Show. For the girls, it's chocolates or flowers, and I've been getting whatever. But for the boys, here's what I want to know: what song would you sing to win the affection
Oh
of your
my
true
right.
love?
Song to sing. Oh.
Thank you. 10 Things I Hate About You. That was the inspiration for that question. So I got to know, what song are you singing to win the affection?
Oh gosh. Song. Gosh, I gotta think of something good.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's you and the whole field out there, and now you got to separate yourself from the rest.
Okay, this is not gonna be a very popular one. I like me Weezer, so I love me some Weezer. Thank God for Girls is a wonderful song, and I mean, depending on the girl, it might hit a home run. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll throw it out there.
Okay. Okay. You want to sing a bar of it?
Oh gosh. No.
Straight no.
No. I'll let Weezer stick to that one. He's
Okay.
got a lot better vocals than I.
So Thank God for Girls by Weezer is the song that you would sing to win the affection of your Valentine. Do you have one?
No.
No. Okay. He does not currently have
We're
a
waiting for
Valentine.
college.
Oh, jeez. Oh. When is your guys' prom? March?
March something.
March something.
March something.
It's like waiting for
Tells you a
college.
little bit more.
Waiting for college. We're done with this. Would you get a girl chocolate or flowers? There is a right answer to this, by the way.
It's both.
It's
both.
Yes.
It's both.
Winner.
Yep.
Yes, that is correct.
Yep. Dove chocolates. That's my sister says those are the ones you get. And then flowers. I mean, it really depends on the girl, to be honest with you.
Oh man. Okay, so he knows his stuff. He's done his homework. He's got a song. You're going to be dangerous Valentine's Day in prom in college. Not right now, apparently. But thank you for that. So
That's funny.
how much has your pregame changed over the years? Like, how did you find what works for you? The pool, the tennis court, like what finally clicked as far as I think this works every time?
Expectations, I think, is the biggest thing. When I walked on to pool deck or onto the court my freshman year, expectations were low. I'm a first year. I got seniors. I'm not really supposed to be making this big name for myself. I played great. Sophomore, junior year, you're expected a little bit more of yourself. And it's like, okay, there's a little bit more pressure. You got a little bit of title behind your name. You really got to start bringing in the heat. And that really started shifting your game a lot when you start really playing under pressure that you're putting on yourself. So then come senior year, one thing that I've been really trying to focus on is saying, like, look, there are no expectations for yourself other than the ones that you're giving you. So as long as you can set those to a really good level to where it's keeping you pushing but not destroying you, I think that's really changed my pregame for everything. It's just really you and yourself.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Well, every sport I've seen the coach get pretty hands-on as far as the examples. On the basketball court, they're like, so when you dribble and then you shoot, it's got to be like this. Baseball, they'll swing the bat.
Yeah.
Football, I mean, they don't put on the pads, but, they're lining up in the three-point stance and they're throwing the ball. How often does Coach Mack get in the pool?
I've seen him get into the pool
season?
twice.
Twice?
This season, never. Never.
That's not
in my
fair,
high school
Mac.
year. Yeah, no, he doesn't swim apparently, but he coaches us, and I mean it works. I mean, like he said,
Wow.
I don't know why it does, but it works. So if he doesn't have to swim, but he's coaching like that,
You guys got to get him in the pool more. That's
get him in
only
the pool at
fair.
the end of the season.
At the end of the season.
I've dunked him.
Okay, all right. So, are you superstitious at all?
Yes,
Wow. Okay.
100%.
I'm proud that one, that you are, and two, that you know what it is, because the last few coaches shows, people were like, "What's superstition?" I'm like,
oh no.
"How are you in sports and you don't understand what superstition is? What is your superstition?"
Okay, so this all started my sophomore year. I was doubles partners with Josh Dymack, who is a baseball player, which they are notorious for being superstitious.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. And the one thing that this just started snowballing, but the first thing that we really started noticing was anytime we would go on a court, it didn't have a yellow Gatorade, the match would be tough. Our one match that we lost that season, we had one bottle of red Gatorade. We lost it. Next time we had one bottle of yellow Gatorade, went to his third set tiebreaker. At state, we had 6 bottles of yellow Gatorade, and we crushed it 6-0, 6-2. So if you're trying to tell me that yellow Gatorade doesn't have something to do with that, then you're wrong. So then going into swim season, there are things that I will always do. Jumping for one of them. Slaps is another one. Yellow Gatorade continues to go through all of my sports. I will not drink another type of Gatorade on the court or at the pool deck. That is science.
I can check off that question. What was your Gatorade that I had on here? But, well, it's funny because before those last two, so I had the CMR boys basketball team, and Miles Duda has very interesting pregame.
Okay.
Goes to Subway, gets a sandwich, gets chips, but does not eat the chips. He slips them into his mom's purse, and that's apparently like a pregame thing.
Okay.
And I was like, you don't eat the chips and you slip them in your mom's purse.
Was he the one who said he didn't know what superstition was?
No,
very superstitious.
I feel like he knew what it was in that sense, like
Yeah.
telling me that that's what he had. I didn't ask him straight out if he knew what superstition was, but I asked what his pregame was. He's like, yeah, I go to Subway, I get a sandwich and then get chips, but I don't eat the chips. And he was very specific about how he does not eat the chips
purse.
and slips them into his mom's purse.
Gosh.
For you guys, since you're swimmers, I asked this for the cross country team. I'll probably ask it for the track and field team, which was who would die first in a horror movie. So, for, who's going to drown first in that kind of horror movie? You know, the Deep Blue Sea, the Jaws. Like who gets eaten or drowned first?
His name's Easton. I'm sorry. Here's the reality. He is a very, very fast swimmer.
Okay.
But that's because he knows what he's supposed to be doing in that moment. And so he's focused enough, just enough to be able to finish that race. If he were just stuck in the ocean, is like, what am I doing here? He would get gobbled up immediately. He'd probably start swimming in circles like, come over here, come eat me. No, he's super funny guy, but I think I wouldn't be the first meal.
Wow. Okay. I appreciate your honesty, though. I love those questions so much because you feel the tension rise in the room real quickly.
Best teammates are the ones who are honest. So.
What's your favorite thing about Mac?
Oh, one thing?
Yeah. I didn't know you had more than one.
Not a lot of people do, but oh gosh, no. The one thing I love about Mac is he is blunt. A lot of people will go up and blow smoke up your rear and they're like, okay, look, you're going to do great. We're really going to try and do this. Like, don't worry about it. We took one loss. No. You get up there. If you do it right, he lets you know. For a short moment, you did that right. That was amazing. Let's get back to work. And if you maybe didn't do it, he's like, okay, we got a little bit to work on. Let's get back in the pool. And so the fact that he is always able to be like, look, you're still valued, but we got work to do. Let's get back in. Let's start doing this because I have a better vision for you in the future. And we're going to make sure that happens. So I think that blunt honesty is the biggest thing I like about Mac.
Podium in doubles or podium at the pool?
Oh, which one would I like better?
Which one do you prefer?
I mean, I've never been on the podium for the pool. But I have to say tennis. I'm biased, obviously, but it's so good when you have that one person next to you, or if you're doing singles and you're like, I did something that not a lot of people know even how to hold a racket, let alone serve and play for 3 hours. You're like, yeah, that was me and I won it. So it feels pretty dang good.
And you're playing tennis at the next level?
I'm going to try.
You're going to try. Okay.
The hardest thing about tennis, unlike some other sports, is it's pretty much all international.
You say you can't swim. There's not a college swimming program in the state, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. I've told Mac this several times. I'm like, make this make sense. But then again, it took till 2026 for there to be high school baseball teams at the AA level. So, who knows?
Who knows? But tennis is a different beast once you get outside of tennis.
Oh, yes.
You're going against kids who have been playing since they were 3 in an academy in Spain. And I'm over here in Montana like, oh, yeah, it's summer classes when I was 6. Like, that was fun.
And they canceled practice because of the wind, rain, bad attitudes, all that stuff. I love your coaches, though. They're great.
Oh, I love them so much, too.
So, what was the last question that I had for you? What's the next thing on your senior year bucket list? What do you have to check off still?
Senior year bucket list.
It's not prom. We already covered that.
Oh gosh. I mean, tennis season is obviously the big one that's kind of hanging there.
Repeat.
Yes, that is going to be one of the biggest things is repeating that. But one thing that I also do is BPA, Business Professionals of America.
Okay.
It's this speaking competition. Well, not just speaking. It's just anything all to do with business. And one thing that I'm very proud of is I made it to nationals my freshman year.
Yeah.
Made it to nationals my sophomore year and my junior year. And hopefully, if we keep up the good work and practicing with our team, I should be able to make it, and I'll be the first CMR kid to make it to Natties all 4 years.
Wow.
So I am going to Nashville this year. And
No
that is one
pressure,
thing that I
man.
am checking off that bucket list.
Go get it. All right. One more time for Eli Chris, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Man,
so
that was a treat. We will be back with Avery Rains after this commercial break.
The Block Coaches Show is made possible by our proud sponsors. The Burger Bunker, located at 24 5th Street South here in Great Falls and open Monday through Saturday. It's my personal favorite burger in town. I get the Island Burger. Stop in and tell them the F.A.N show sent you. Burger Bunker, no frills, just deliciousness for your inner burger lover. Mars of Great Falls, your one-stop shop for a variety of automobile restoration services. Call today at 406-315-2142 or stop in and see Archie yourself at 1224 19th Avenue South. Schulte's 38th Street Store and Coffee House. Family owned and the best chicken in town if you ask me. But don't take my word for it. Stop in and see for yourself at 3800 3rd Avenue South. A Cutting Crew and Nails Too. Located at 315 17th Avenue Northeast. Walk-ins are welcome or call and book an appointment today at 406-771-4900. Russell Country Federal Credit Union, where they believe in helping you and your children achieve financial success and building a better community. They want to be your financial home, so stop in their Great Falls or Fairfield office and get started on your new account today. Mountain West Farm Bureau Insurance, the Eric Dirk Agency, protecting what matters most, local service you can trust, and specializing in home, auto, life, and farm ranch products. And finally, C.M. Russell Hall of Famer Linda Morin, Rustler Pride.
All right, we are back to close out this special Wednesday edition of the Block Coaches Show with Avery Rains. Welcome.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
That's a tough act to follow, but see, it's not so hard.
I know. I told him. I was like, you got to go first. Like, you're good at public speaking. Like, I got to, like, think of some answers.
So that wasn't just me. Like, he actually is good at
Yeah.
public. Okay, wow. Yeah, Eli, man. He's got a future in sportscasting if he wants to be. I'd sit and talk tennis with him all day. That's crazy. But let's talk about you and the pool crosstown last night. How you feel you did?
I did really good. I got put in some events that I don't normally swim very often, and I was really happy just to get another opportunity at that. And I ended up PRing in one of my events, so I was very excited about that. And crosstown's just so special to me every year. Like, I've been looking forward to every tradition we do since my freshman, sophomore year. And it was definitely a lot of, like, really sad. I've made friends with so many of the younger girls, and I'm just like, I hope you guys carry on, like, what I've taught you or, like, little traditions that we've gotten. But yeah, I love senior night, and I just thought it was so sentimental and, like, just, like, wrapped up my whole career as a swimmer.
So I'll ask you the same question then. Winning the race or qualifying for state, which is better?
I don't know. I would say winning the race, like Eli said. Definitely it gives you a lot of confidence, and you just know you're like, yeah, that was a good race. And I had a few of those this year that I was really proud of, especially my 100 breast a couple weeks ago. I was seated last in my heat, and I ended up winning by like a couple seconds, and that was a moment for me this season that was super special. And I was just like, yeah, I've proved myself. Like, I've worked really hard in this event.
There's got to be a certain sense of self-satisfaction from a sport like swimming, because so much of it, I mean, there's team sports like track and field, cross country, wrestling, but swimming is so much about you have to zone in on you, because like I told you, like you can't see the other racers, right? Like, it's you going for the best time. And so how long did it take you to get used to that? Because it's so different from other sports.
Yeah, so I started swimming my freshman year, so I'm like pretty new to this, and it took me a couple years to like actually get the hang of it. And like, I think by my junior years when I finally felt that, and like I was like, I understand this now. Like I understand why it's so important, and I like got to feel all those feelings that like my friends who have been swimming for their whole lives have. And like it's just really special because I'm able to connect with them. And like we'll go in the locker room after practice or after meets and we're like, yeah, we did this, or like we just like it's just like really special, and like I love it.
Yeah. Well, coach said you also are going to be on the softball field. So baseball and softball, I'm sorry if you live and breathe that, anybody, but it is the ultimate hurry up and wait sport. It really is. So of all the ways that you could stay conditioned, how did you pick swimming?
Well, so Ella Kingsland was the one who like actually got me into swimming. Like my freshman year, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll try it. Like I've never done it before. And I ended up going to preseason and like doing the season. I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. Like this is insane. And
What'd
then
you get me into?
yeah, so I ended up finishing that season and I did a lot of good things. And then that year in softball, I just had a breakout year. Like it was insane. So just swimming got me so strong and like in such good condition. So like on Sundays when I wouldn't have swimming, I'd go to softball practice and like I would be in such good shape, like so strong, hitting the ball so hard. And like it just gets me so strong and like it's amazing.
So you hit a home run and you're immediate like, thanks, swimming.
Yeah, literally. So my freshman year, I hit I think 4 or 5, and it was crazy. And then like my dad had pointed out, he was like, "Wow, like you're really strong," and I was like, "I know, it's probably swimming."
What's the feeling like when you get a PR, especially if it's toward the end of the season?
It's so great. So just for example, like I got thrown into 100 breast last year, and I was just like, all right, like guess I'll do it. And my first run wasn't great, and like I know that, but then I ended up getting better and better and better, and it was just something I stuck. So I swam it at state last year, obviously PR'd, and then this year I did it again, and like I don't even know how many times I swam it this year, like quite a bit, but I probably PR'd every couple weeks or so. And whether that was like by 2 or 3 seconds or half a second, it was just amazing to feel that feeling because I work so hard in practice. And like when it comes to the things that I want to work at, like I give 100% at it. And like just getting that feeling, just knowing that it all paid off.
Like a validation of hard work,
Yeah.
right? To see that number. What's that equivalent in softball? What gives you that validation of hard work?
I don't know. Like definitely doing really good hitting that day. Like if I'm in a game and I go 2 for 4, 3 for 4, I'm like, yeah, that was a really good game. And then along with softball, I'm also a pitcher. So if I'm like, yeah, like that was good. You just like that feeling by yourself that you're like, I did really good. Like no one can really bring you down from it.
So are you superstitious?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious.
Wow. So things I'm finding out about swimmers and the swim team. One, it seems like everybody is just thrown into something, coaching included. And then you guys are all superstitious. What's your superstition?
I have a lot. So it all starts like right before the meet. I show up and I always have a Bloom energy drink in raspberry lemon flavor. So
Very specific,
I
yes.
have to have that one.
Okay.
And I open it after warm-ups. And then
Drink it after the meet. It just feels like
it lasts me all day. It lasts me all day, I swear. And then like so I do my warm-up and I always do so like during our warm-up we do dives and I always do the same exact order for those or else it's just a bad day. I did that once this year and it was not a good day at all. And then before my races, it kind of depends. So if it's before like a relay, I'll like get super hyped with my girls and like just have so much fun before a relay because I love relays. And then if it's before like just an individual event, I listen to the same exact 4 songs and they're in the same exact order. So it starts with Fire Burning,
Okay.
and then it goes to Wherever I Roam from Metallica, and then it goes Not Like Us, and then the last one is Juju on That Beat, which is a new one this year. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's very specific.
Do you have a limit of like where you have to cap yourself? Because you mentioned that you added a new song.
Yeah.
Is it like 4's my like that's it? Like I can't do more than 4. Okay.
Yeah. So then
It's a good mix though.
yeah. So then after I'm done listening to those songs, I'll go behind the blocks and I'll like stretch, do my thing, like get ready for the race. And if I'm swimming against one of my teammates, I'll go up, give them a hug, be like, you're gonna do so good, like stuff like that. And a new one that we added this year that I love, like this is my favorite thing, is our 100 breaststroke cheer. It's so good.
Greatest cheer ever.
It is. Don't get me wrong. It's like 5 girls of us that we do breaststroke probably every practice, and we started it this year. And I like just made a joke. I was like, "Oh my god! Like most of our lane is breaststroke girls. Like hashtag girl power," and we just carried it on. So our like initial cheer started with like girl power on 3, 1, 2, 3, girl power, and then we do a little spin. But we added a new thing, and we go broski and point to Mac. And he only did it with us one time. And no, you gotta do
Every
it.
time, Mac.
Yeah. So we do that. And recently we've been calling ourselves Lava Girls. I don't know where that came from. One of the other girls came up with it,
Are
but
the boys Shark Boys then? Like,
I guess.
okay, all right.
But yeah, so before every 100 breaststroke race, the girls and I do that. And like, I think that's so cool. Like, we just came up with our own little thing. Mac doesn't like it, but we love it. So,
I was just gonna ask if you sign off on all this. No.
That just gets us ready. And like, most of us are in the same heats usually.
Yeah.
And we just kind of like, we're like, all right, let's go. Like, girl power.
That's too good. All right. Chocolates or flowers?
Flowers.
What kind of flowers?
I really like roses or peonies.
Classic
Mhm.
roses, yeah. What's a song that would win you over?
Oh, I've really been into Jack Johnson lately, so probably Better Together by Jack Johnson.
I was hoping we were gonna lean into that Metallica.
No.
Kendrick
That's only for
Lamar.
races. That's only for sports.
Okay, all right, Jack Johnson stuff. Got it.
Mhm.
You have a Valentine?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm still looking for one.
She is looking for a
I mean,
Valentine, ladies and gentlemen.
We had a joke when wrestling was here. Like everyone was like, Avery's gonna go find her Valentine up there, and I got banned from up there. But don't worry, I went up there one time.
All right. Well, we have this beautiful platform here, the Coaches Show. People are tuned in, live stream. Make your case. Why should someone ask you to prom and be your Valentine?
I think I'm a pretty funny person.
I agree. Yes.
So many people wrote in my book, like, you're so funny, and like you always like have a smile on your face. And I'm like,
Who doesn't love a
you.
smile?
Yeah. So I think I'm pretty funny. I have a good personality.
Guys,
Yeah.
come on. 'Tis the season of love. Okay, let's
Mhm.
make it happen for Avery Ray.
Yeah.
This turned into the dating game real fast.
Yeah.
All right, we'll shift gears to a bit more dramatic. Who's the person that you would least want to be stranded on a desert island with?
Probably like team or person.
Yeah, you got the whole 4 teams to pick from.
Probably the Great Falls High boys. I hate to say it, but some
Anyone
days I'm just like,
specifically?
you guys are a little too much. Like, you need to tone it down a little bit. But yeah.
It's not just one
No,
of you, it's
some of
all
them,
of you.
Some of them just push me over the edge. And like, I hate to point them out, but Easton, you gotta, like, it just gets too much some days. But yeah, definitely the Great Falls High boys. I would lose my mind.
Wow. When it comes to a swimming horror movie like Jaws or Deep Blue Sea, who is going to get eaten first?
Oh, that's a great question. I know Easton already got called out, so I don't want to pick him again.
You can do it again. We can have a popular vote.
Yeah, probably Easton. It's just Easton. Like, he's a character. He's a character for sure.
Who's a special character that you unlock at this point in the game?
Yeah.
Anything left on your senior year bucket list? Or I guess what's next on it?
Definitely state for sure. Do really good at state. And then for softball, I'd like to make it to state again. We haven't been in the past 2 years, so we have a really special group of seniors coming in. And I would just like us to get that connection back again. and yeah, just make state. Like I've grown up with so many of them that I just want to circle back around and be like, okay, let's finish one last year together before like we can't do this again. So definitely making state in softball, performing well, and yeah.
Yeah, I got super nervous right then and there. It's a good
Oh, me
thing
too.
our time is just about wrapped up. Popo came in to shut us down. I don't know what's going on. But anyway. All right. So Bloom Energy Drink, Roses, and then something by Jack Johnson, and
Mhm.
you will have found your true love.
Yeah.
Prince Charming out
Mhm.
there. Could be CMR, could be Great Falls High. We don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck at state. It's been a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. And anything good you can tell me about Mac?
Mac pushes me every single day. Like I know
To
I
be
push
better or like your buttons?
both.
Okay.
Most of the like I would say most of the time he's pushing me to get better, and he knows how much I want myself to perform and how much I want my team to perform well. So yeah, just pushing me, and like he'll tell me, he's like, okay, you need to do this better. Like so like he's very blunt, like Eli said. But I appreciate it. Like he's kind of one of the first coaches that I've had that's gonna like tell you how it is. And I appreciate that, and that's like it's honestly shaped my personality and how I am as an athlete now. It's made me more coachable and made me learn so many lessons. But yeah, Mac has taught me so many lessons that I'll carry on into the future, like in my career, college, just anything.
All right. Well, next week we are back to Monday, first and foremost. Guest is to be determined because technically next is CMR girls basketball, but they can't. So they will be the following Monday, the week of Crosstown. Tomorrow night is Wrestling Crosstown. Hope to see all you guys there. We got state swimming coming up. So we got a lot of fun things happening in the Great Falls area. Coach's Show back on schedule next week. We'll let you know who the guest is. But Avery Rains, thank you so much.
Thank you for
stopping
having
by.
me.
Give it up for her. And for Great Falls High and CMR, the 4 teams, 2 schools, 1 family, 1 great time with all of you, except for you, Mac. It's been fantastic to have you all here. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next time.